Welcome to the Louie Bellina Show. It is Monday. We begin a new week, and not just any week, together. It is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. You're like, wait, not just any week. Nope. It has been a grind. It has been a long time, but it is the final week, regular season, college basketball. In front of us, tournament week. In front of us, the madness of March. And for Aggie basketball, over the next 2 weeks, we will define NCAA tournament, NIT tournament. In front of us, will it be one of the greatest coaching jobs we've ever seen at Texas A&M? Or will it be very nice, a really nice year one? Or it was good, so much potential. Oh, so much left to play for. This is the Louie Bellina Show. I'm inside the Charles Schwab studio on a Monday. Let me share with you. Here is the blueprint. This is how we do between now and 2 o'clock. Coming up, 11:35, I got to listen in. Bucky McMillan post-TU game. 11:55, high school sports update. Every Monday, every Friday, it's the high school sports update, thanks to Kelly Bertdozer. At 12 o'clock, the college baseball roundup with Mitch Light of The Athletic. Mitch will join us on the D4 Land Services hotline. And the college baseball roundup is pretty what it sounds like. We take a look at the national scene, the national level, and again, with Mitch, it's what he does for The Athletic. It's what he does for The Athletic. So I'm pretty excited. This is a lot of fun. Mitch loves college baseball. And we take a look at the top 25, and then we take a look at the top and sometimes the bottom teams of the past weekend that was. College baseball roundup, Mitch Light, 12 o'clock. On the D4 Land Services hotline. At 1:35, I got to listen in for you, Aggie baseball. And the way we've done it is we listen to a player from the Friday game, and it'll be Shane Sadeo, a player from the Saturday game, and that's going to be Gavin Lyons, then Michael Early, A&M baseball head coach, after the Sunday game, and he kind of wraps up the entire weekend. So listen in, Aggie baseball at 1:35. Now, there's always more here on the Louie Bellina Show, like your text messages, 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. You text, I'll see what's up inside the Texas Mobile One Lube Express inbox. I can tell you, it's 11:03:50, so 3 minutes, 50 seconds into our time together, and people, the number one, happy birthday to Texas, happy Independence Day is the theme. Quite a few of those text messages already, and we're 4 minutes into our time together, and happy Independence Day. Happy birthday to Texas. Amen. Amen. People can text about everything, anything. It's kind of how we roll on the Louie Bellina Show. And the final part of our Monday equation, this is the final week. These are your final chances. If you want to go see Creed at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, each day, one person gets registered. I can tell you today, 12:35, I'll take caller 5. At 12:35, I'll take caller 5. So listen in. I'll throw up the bat signal. Be ready to dial. It's all thanks to Groholski Sausage Company. I love them. They love music. I think this is the second, third straight year they've been like, rodeo? Music? We're in. Thank you, Groholski Sausage Company. So be ready, 12:35, caller 5, but not now. So listen in to win. Participation on the Louie Bellina Show is pretty much always rewarded. 979-693-1150 on the Louie Bellina Show. That's the text. That's the call. We'll begin our day. Bucky Ball against Texas. TU, as I like to call them. Didn't go well. 76-70. Texas takes the win. Aggies were up 1.5. Well, Longhorns obviously won by 7 in the second. The why is simple. Offense is struggling. The key is supposed to be, hitting the three ball. And they made 5 threes, not in the first half or the second half or each half. They made 5 total threes. Pretty much end of story. They only had 10 assists. Not going to win with this combination. They shot 38% from the field in the game, 26 from three-point land. You could pick any one thing I've said so far. That's why they lost. But if you go 1 + 1 + 1, how did they only lose by 6? Almost becomes the question. If you watch the game, Texas didn't do anything special. Mark went for 23, but some player on the opposing team always goes off against A&M and the Bucky Ball defense. That's pretty standard. So, yeah, he went for 23, but someone on the opposing team's always, standardly is going to go off. No, this story, I felt like, was completely about the A&M team. They could never make the run. You know, Rashawn Agee went for 22 points. He actually didn't get the double-double, finished 2 boards short. He's fun to watch. Dominguez is still struggling. And at this point, is he struggling or is he kind of, what's his mean? What is the definition of his norm now? Because it's been so long, is the word struggle still applying? Or we have to ask, what is he? Because this is now an extended stretch. But I watch him hustling. It just, has he lost confidence? I don't know what the story is now. Because it's been so extended, we'll have to evaluate what he is versus, it was just a struggle. You know, I remember Aggie basketball has now lost 6 of 8, right? Aggie basketball has now lost 6 of 8. And before that 5-game stretch that we said would define began, like I was talking and you were texting, and so we were talking and discussing like the key. And I thought it was Rashawn Agee, the double-double machine. And I think some people said Jakari Lane. And Jakari Lane is someone who has also struggled during this stretch. The whole team has, so it's not fair maybe even pick out one person. Ruben has struggled. Jakari has struggled. The team has struggled. And that's how you lose 6 of 8. But I said Rashawn Agee. He's the key. And with Ruben and his struggles and watching how the offense doesn't work, I think the final answer, and this is kind of obvious now that I'm looking back, so I want to slap myself for being so dumb. There was no one key. The answer is they needed, and there's like 4 players who all just, none of them have to be all-stars. None of them have to dominate the game, but each player's role is essential. And I say 4 players: Agee, Jakari, and Ruben. And from there, the mystery player each night, which I talked about at the time, because it seemed like every night one player goes off. So you have those 3 plus the mystery player. That was the Bucky Ball formula. There was no one player. I thought it was Agee, like they can't win without him, and he's the key. Nope. And that's a really hard ask over the 3-month grind and all the games and everything. You know, that's just, how it is. So anyway, they lost to Texas. Again, if you watch the game, and they didn't play horribly. It's just they have that slow motion look to them that they've had 2 months now. For 2 months now. Are they dead-legged? Is this the new norm? Legs won't come back. I have been more focused, honestly, versus the game, but what's next? I know if you watch the broadcast, which is what I did, I heard the announcer say, I think 10, maybe 12 times, that Lunardi bracketology, that both A&M and Texas needed 2 more wins to make the NCAA tournament. Both were on the last 4 buys line, and with the results Saturday, Texas winning, they just flip-flopped. They flip-flopped their positions on the last 4 buy lines. The entire bubble stunk Saturday, which helped A&M tremendously. Because let's say A&M was the only team to have lost on the bubble. Last four in, last four buys. Wasn't the case at all. The bubble was bad, which helped A&M's cause tremendously. And we go into the final weekend with A&M on the last four buys. But Lenardi said 2 more wins. And whenever I hear that, I always wonder, is that regular season plus the postseason. Neutral doesn't have the same value as road. Road has the most bonus for net, and then home. And, but 2 more wins was the rally cry, battle cry. And I heard that said so many times. If that is still the case, you got Kentucky on a Tuesday, home. LSU in Baton Rouge on a Saturday. And then SEC tournament time. Then the magic question becomes, can this team win 2 more games? Any combination of this week plus the SEC tournament. I think the answer is yes. I want to believe the answer is yes. But I also know they're very susceptible at this point to losing to most anyone they play. That's just unfortunate that they're so worn down at this point. And that's the reality of it. I don't think that's a harsh analysis. They're just worn down. Maybe in year 1, even though these players got up to speed to run the system at that speed, they just don't have anything left in the tank. And it's not coming back. Because you've seen how hard they played. There's nothing left. They can beat LSU, but where's the other dub? Kentucky or SEC tournament? Because you play Saturday, and if their first game would be Tuesday, Wednesday, it's still that short rest week. So 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. Where are you at with this? Where are you at with Bucky Ball? I mean, I'll let you run the prediction. We don't need a metrical data, statistical analysis. You think they can find the 2 wins they need for the NCAA tournament? I've been clear. For me, I just really want. It's like, as a fan here, this isn't some big media or not really expert analysis point of view. Just as a fan, I've been so clear, year 1, I want that statement of greatness. And that's what the NCAA tournament would be to me. Because they're in the NIT already, no matter what happens. And I think I'll ask others, like Logan when he joins me tomorrow, 11:20, if they ended up in the NIT, wouldn't that still be a statement of very good? Got to drop the great tag, but of how good a job Bucky did of assembling the team from scratch to make any postseason in the first year. I do think the NCAA tournament would be the undeniable, holy cow, something special, magic, voodoo, this is incredible. What would NIT mean? Because they're going to go to the NIT men. But I don't want the NIT. I want the full Bucky's the coach of the year in all of college basketball, which is what the NCAA tournament would kind of mean to me. I don't know what anyone else would think and almost don't care. To me, it would mean coach of the year levels to get this team into the NCAA tournament. And if they're going to get in, they're going to have to fight through it. That's all there is to it at this point. And that's where they're at. They're fighting through it at this point. I think Juan texted me. I'm looking at the Texas Mobile When Lube Express inbox. And I think this will be the worst text message we're going to have of the whole week. And we're in the first segment of the first hour on the first day of the week. Has the team lost confidence in the Bucky Ball system, thus losing confidence in themselves? I think that's going to be the worst text message. Yeah, I know. Maybe. I don't want to put that challenge flag out there for others to text to, but I'm pretty sure that'll be the worst text message of the week. 979-693-1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back. A couple of more things in the Aggie basketball universe. Talking some Aggie baseball too. It's the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric on the Zone.
This is Aggieland's home for the Texans, the Vikings, and NFL primetime. The Zone. 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
The Louie Bellina Show, just beginning. We're just starting. It is Monday. The Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric, built on faith, family, and community. Our entire first hour together, maroon and white notebook. The Louie Bellina Show. Okay, I'm chuckling. This is from Brad and Lufkin. It's a text message. Louie, so tired of hearing how they are worn down. I don't see other SEC teams wearing down. These are 18 to 22-year-olds. I don't believe teams have figured out how to defend us by running us off the three-point line. He says, I believe teams have. We have not adjusted. So frustrating to see another Aggie program falter down the stretch. I will be honest with you, Brad. With the way Aggie basketball is fading down the stretch, as you put it, I'm not frustrated. What was the expectation and projection when this team was put together, starting from absolute zero, late in the portal, as Buzz, kind of left it dead and from scratch? Like, what was your expectation? Can we have a reality conversation? Seriously. So I'm more sad, and I'll even say I'm more scared than frustrated that they're going to miss the tournament after the 7-1 start. I'm not frustrated. I'm not tying in what's happening with Bucky Ball with Boss, with what we've seen from other programs. Because that's so unfair to Bucky to bring other inexcusable things we've seen happen with other Aggie sports. So I've not done that. I still have not done that. So I don't share your frustration. I'm more of scared. I'm more sad than any frustration whatsoever. There's only one game that I would say that I was there was two. And one in revisionist Lou history, I'm no longer frustrated. I was frustrated after Oklahoma State game, but then realized 3 games in 5 days of a new system, they're always going to lose that game. Like, that was a scheduled loss. And I got over it. The Missouri game. And now that you're looking at this fade down the stretch, that Missouri game in my head, because the only reason they lost that is they couldn't hit a layup. If they'd have just got the easy buckets in, they beat Missouri at home. End of conversation. Forget dead leg, dead head, missing threes, just whatever analytics you want. None of it's relevant. Missouri just make the easy points. And they probably beat Missouri by 6 or 8. And now that we're entering the final week, now that we're talking like 2 more wins, that Missouri game has this flashing horn signal, lighthouse behind it that keeps spinning for me. That Missouri game. So anyway, but no, I'm not frustrated. And why would you tie this into, tired of disappointing down the stretch like it's Aggie football every year but last year and other things? I don't think that's fair to Bucky. So I don't know. I can't do that. I can't take that step with you. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. 2 games left in the week. Bubbly. Last 4 buys. Took a look in the standings now. A&M is in a 3-way tie for 7th with Vanderbilt, who beat them, which means technically it's a 2-way tie for 8th with Texas, who you split with. I did not bother. I will apologize to you. I didn't bother to look at what the tiebreaker is in a 3 that's really a 2 going. Yeah, man, they'll just hand out the brackets for the SEC tournament and we'll figure it out later. I didn't bother digging that deep. That was digging that deep. I'm not going to do that. But A&M was in a 3-way tie for 7th, but lost to Vanderbilt. So now they're in a, it may be 8th, maybe it's 7th, but you get the point where they're at. For a team that was picked 13th, that's why I'm not frustrated. Sure, losing 6 of 8 after the 7-1 start, but tying them into your usual Aggie athletics thing, no, this isn't the usual. Isn't the usual. Entering the final week, they get Kentucky, who's in 6th. Basically one game better, 27 net. A&M's 43 net as we woke up today. A&M's got that Saturday LSU in Baton Rouge, who's 3-13 in league play as we enter the final week, is LSU in 70th in the net. I pondered, and I'm a bad wonderer ponderer, if that was the worst net. No. Did you know there's 2 teams in the SEC that have triple-digit net? Mississippi State's 104 and South Carolina's 108 net-wise. Whew, that's pretty mutt-fest. Ole Miss is 91. So, yeah, LSU is not even at the bottom of the net universe at all. 2 more wins. I'll wait for updated bracketology and all that. Maybe I'm dead wrong on that. Maybe it's, Lenardi's going to, because that was as of Saturday. And this is the favorite. If you're into this bracketology stuff, it's a living organism. And the results of 3 other teams you played in 3 different mutts. Why not mutts, huh? In 3 different months can change your narrative. And you haven't even played a game in 2 days. So all of a sudden, now they need 1 road plus 1 neutral plus a dog barking at night and a full moon. I mean, the storyline, the formula changes. But 2, that's all we kept hearing was 2 more. Juan texted back and said that Brad's text message was worse than his. He even said that was a worse text than mine, LOL. Man, shots are being fired all across the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. Nah, Juan, I think yours was. I'm still voting yours. Sorry, man. Kyle K and Cameron go 0-2 this week, but find a way. Go 0-2, but find a way to win 2 in the tournament. Is it good enough? Oh, you just didn't put the question mark. Okay. Go 0-2 this week, but find a way to win 2 on the tournament. Is it good enough? Question mark. Team exceeded expectations regardless, but hope they get a chance in the tournament. If they go 0-2 this week and losing to LSU, who is a quad 1 on road at 70, no worse than quad 2, if they slip further potentially on the road, they might need 3. Remember, that can move. That can move from needing 2 to needing 3 in the SEC tournament, and that's back-to-back days. I think that's a really tall order to ask for. So I don't know if that would happen, but because expectation has been shifted because of the 7-1 start, if they went NIT, no one would be happy. Everyone will kind of be like Brad and Lufkin. We faded like it always happens. Another Aggie team that disappointed over the last month, and without any framing of the whole picture. That it was a team picked 13th and could have been 6-12 in SEC play and had a losing record and all, and forgetting the bigger picture of it all. So, is it good enough? 0-2 this week, 2 wins in the tournament. I would say no. I'll ask Logan Lee tomorrow. 0-2 this week, because that's the LSU loss. They would have been losers of their last 8 of 10, but 2 tournament wins. I don't think so. I think you have perfectly enabled the committee to pull A&M, because we know committees hate Aggies. Don't know the why. I don't have enough money to commission a study. But yeah, no, that would be perfectly enabling the committee to go, well, their last 10 regular season, they were 2-8. What about the tournament? Well, we look at the regular season last 10. Since when? Are you questioning me? I'm the committee? No, we've been there, got screwed by that. That would perfectly enable the committee. So I wouldn't want to try it if that's a better answer. 979-693. 11:50. Kentucky on Tuesday, 6, Reed. Then Baton Rouge on Saturday. That's what's ahead. Remember something, too. Of their 2 wins they got, the Ole Miss one was not trending that way at all. The Oklahoma one is the one that they led the whole game. And, the margin wasn't there, but they were obviously in control and the better team. So of this whole lost 6 of 8 in the 2 wins, there's only one that they were the clear better. And it was that one. And they are dead-legged. And when shooters have tired legs, shots stop dropping. And Brad's tired of hearing about how tired they are, but that's the reality. And whether it's due to conditioning, whether it's due to the physical grind, when how many times we said the other team is bigger, stronger, more physical, and they're having to work so hard on D and getting leaned on and O, making them tireder, faster, and quicker than they should have been. And for the most part, really not having a bench he wants, but a bench he has to use, whether it's foul trouble, but even the height and so forth. Even the minutes they're playing is grinding. But look, this is the dig down deep if you want it. 2 more wins. And I think it's going to be a fascinating watch to see if they can do it. What you have left. So text message question. Are they going to find the 2 more wins? You tell me. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile and Loop Express inbox. And do you think they got the 2 more wins? Do you think they find the 2 more wins? Do they do it? Do they pull it off? I don't know the handicap in my head. I think it's kind of 50-50 at this point, which is a boring answer. I know, very boring answer. Logan Lee will join me tomorrow, 11:20. He'll join me inside the Charles Schwab studio. Logan's never pulled a punch, so I can't wait to see his thoughts on, do they got the 2 more wins or not? You just got to hope the bubble and the bracket doesn't change when they need 3, but I just kept hearing that 2 more wins. When we return, I've shared what I think, and of course your text messages, some of what you think. Bucky, what did he think after the game? We'll do a listen in. He met with the media after the TU game. A Bucky listen in. That's what's next here on the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, Monday on The Zone. We're just getting started.
We are going. Are you ready? The Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM, where we refuse to lose. Fighting Texas Aggies.
Here we go!
Let's go! The Louie Bellina Show on a Monday. And, we're just getting started. Like, hour number 1, this is the Bucky Ball hour. Hour number 2 is going to be college baseball. Mitch Light of the Athletic, 12 o'clock on the D4 Land Services Hotline. College baseball roundup. It's a national look at things. And at 12:35, we'll talk about the weekend the Aggies had. A little more. It was a great weekend. I know. Lou, they lost a game and they got run rule. Don't care. I'll explain. 12:35, we'll go into the Aggie baseball version of the weekend that was. But at 12 o'clock, college baseball roundup. Mitch Light, national scene on the D4 Land Services Hotline. And if you ever need a metal building, like a custom metal building from the ground up, go check out d4landservices.com. d4landservices.com. But time now, A&M basketball, Bucky McMillan. He met with the media after the Texas game.
Not going to overthink it, guys. Girls, they played well. Pretty even battle. Shots probably pretty similar in a lot of ways. They made they've stepped up, made some of those late. We didn't make some of the ones we normally make, they made some tough ones. We kind of made some of those at their place. They made them here. And in a 2-possession game, that's really kind of this time of year where it's probably going to come down to. Thought we played good enough defense. Thought we played really hard. I thought they made the shots they're supposed to make. They probably made a couple of the ones that are tough to make with some step backs. And, we had one that went up and dropped in, and I felt that one. That's usually what happens when you have 2 good teams. I think we're both tournament quality level teams that, it just late in that game is going to come down to it, and it's going to be a play here, play there. And I thought their guards made some really good plays in the game, late in that game. That was probably the separator. Well, it was a separator. Going forward, look, We can't get so honed in. We played better in that game with a lot of fight, and then the games we've won. So we just did not convert some of the shots that we normally make. But there's a great fight, great tenacity, great no quit attitude. But we got to get to the next game. I mean, it is what it is. We know what time it is. We got to roll, and we got to be guns blazing Tuesday in a very important game. What I loved about our team was after the game, they were huddled up, and it was our players talking about we got to get over this quickly. We know how this feels. We got to get to the next one. We got to get this one on Tuesday, and they were talking that. So they're in the right mindset. I know all the Aggies out there, really wanted to get this one. I am sorry. I wanted to get it, but no one wanted to get it more than those players wanted to get it. I can promise you that. They did everything they're supposed to do leading up to this game, preparation-wise, mental-wise. They were locked in. I really felt good about the game. Sitting with them, they had a certain calmness to them I felt good about. So I know we're disappointed, but I also know that no one's more disappointed than those guys. We'll win a lot more of these than we'll lose. We got to split this year, but I feel good about what we're going to do going forward. And I appreciate our fan base rallying around this group. Senior night, I want to thank everybody that stayed and honored those seniors, because we came here with nobody on the roster, didn't know these players, and they've had tremendous support. And so I want to thank everybody for their support.
Bucky, have y'all gotten to a point where you are having to rely too heavily on Rashawn and Marcus?
Probably so. We are. We need some of our guys to step it up in some ways, and we need some of our perimeter players to step it up a little bit. And I think that it's coming. You can't force that on them, but at the end of this deal, the guards this time of year, you'll see here as we approach March, the guards got to rise. And there's been games that we have. There's been games we've been a little bit behind. Now, I say that as a challenge that, we're going to need some guard play besides just throwing that thing inside and relying on Rashawn trying to get it done. There's no doubt.
Kind of to Olin's point, what have you been trying to tell guys like Rylan or Jakari or even Pop, try and get some more production out of them?
Well, I mean, it's all about, we talk about winning your matchup. And at the end of the day, it's pretty simple, guys. It's when you negate their actions this time of year. I don't know many actions they got us on. I don't know many actions we got them on. It's just at the end of the day, you're going to end up looking at the guy in front of you with about 10 seconds on the clock, and you're guarding him. At the end of the day, this time of year, you're going to end up with the ball with about 10 seconds left with the guy in front of you, and he's guarding you. You got to win that matchup this time of year. And I think that's got to be the challenge. That won't be any different in the next game or the next game or the next game. And so it's just got to take ownership in it like we did at Oklahoma. I think they took ownership in it tonight. But, those guys played well the Texas played well in their matchups tonight, and especially late in the game.
Do you look at this, the 6-point loss, and look back at the three-pointer you were talking about that went high and came in, and then there was one that they got just before the shot clock?
Yeah, they hit a step back.
That's just the difference of the game, or was it deeper than that?
I mean, it's a 2-possession game. It's that. It's a tough three or a step back or us missing an open three we normally make. You could look at free throws. They shot it really well. Made 92% of their free throws. We actually weren't bad either from the line. We're 82, which it's not bad. But in a 2-possession game, it's all the small things. There's 2 possessions that were controllable possessions, and one was on a baseline out of bounds. We were frustrated with the last call that we did not match up properly, and they made a 3 on that. No one would notice that. I noticed that. Rashawn was talking to the ref on something. We did not get matched up. Now we cover. They come off a ball screen. We weren't there to hedge the ball screen. They banged that one in. And I don't know what happened. I got to see it. After Jamie took a shot, his man contested, and we weren't back. We gave up a layup there. Now that was 5 points of game. Usually in games, you're going to have about 8 plays like that. I can only remember like 2 lapses like that. I really can. So overall, that's not terrible. But those are the things you can control. We can't control a bounce. We can't control guys if you make a great contest and make a tough shot. We can't. I certainly know that some of the threes we had that we normally make, or even the layups that we had that we normally make, we're not trying to miss that. But the things we can control, we got to be an A+ in that.
I know you have a lot of confidence in Rashawn.
Yep.
at the 3-point line. Do you want him being the guy that takes the most 3-pointers?
Well, he is a great 3-point shooter. If he can go 2 for 6, he's right at the math of it, right? He's close to the math because he should be an offensive rebound one of those other 4, But it really depends on room, rhythm, and balance. Like, you don't want him taking ones that are out of rhythm, that doesn't have enough room, and he's not on balance. That's what we say. It's room, rhythm, and balance. Would I rather Rashawn take an open one than someone else take a contested one? Yeah. Do I want Rashawn taking the same threes Ruben or Rylan would take? No. Right? But I think he's got to do enough to keep the defense honest in that spot. And then it was close tonight.
Coach, in the second half, what did you see from that technical foul from Jamie?
I didn't see it. I haven't looked at it yet. Yeah, they called a double tech, so I don't know what happened.
Did the refs tell you what they saw?
They just called it. Yeah, they just called it double. I mean, you know what's going to happen. I don't get like in these games. They're just going to be like 2 techs. I mean, they're just not. It's just what happens. So I don't know. Y'all would know better than I would. I didn't get to see it.
When they're big, picked up 2 fouls in the first minute, and then Swain got a couple fouls after that. Early foul trouble for those guys. Did the strategy change, and why do you think you guys weren't able to fully take advantage of 2 of their key guys getting in foul trouble?
Yeah, they still played some of those guys in that, and I can't remember how many minutes Swing had played at half, but overall it wasn't like, he still played 29 minutes in the game. We came out the game in that spot, even with those guys in the game, and I thought we had some good looks and some good opportunities, right? I thought, like, first play of the game, we were wide open 3, ready to bring the house down. We get a steal, and, we miss a float. I thought we had a couple opportunities where I felt like at halftime we should have been up, but the defense were playing by about 6 or 7. That's kind of what I felt. I got to go back and watch it, but that's just what I felt. And then they came out in the second half, and they really got going with those guys back in the game. Now look, we got to call it what it is now. I mean, like, Swain, like, there's a reason where he is on draft boards, right? Like, I mean, he's a ball player. And so, I mean, at the end, he had it going, but we did hold him to 4 for 12 from the field. And I had 11 points, 10 rebounds. He played great defense at spots. But, some of those guys are going to get theirs. I mean, it is what it is.
When you got a scoring drought or a shooting drought like that through the last 5 or 6 minutes, kind of what's the message to the team as that's going on?
Keep guarding. Give yourself the opportunity to win by continuing to guard, right? I'm never one of these guys that's just not your night. I'm just never that guy, but sometimes, sometimes you feel a ball like bounces, throwing us out of bounds, their ball. We're there with a jump ball, their ball. Ball hits the top of the deal, goes in. Guy hits a step back. Guy hits a 17-footer. It kind of felt like that a little bit coaching that game. It just felt like that. And a lot of times teams will give in and start guarding. I thought we stayed with it. Early in the year, I don't know if we could have sustained it, but we stayed with it and gave ourselves a chance in the game.
With Clemens, how well he's been playing lately, was there anything they were doing to kind of slow him down a little bit, and what will kind of be the key for him going forward?
Yeah, he got in foul trouble early. How many minutes he played? He played 23. I thought he was a low down there. I did think he probably got fouled a couple times around the cup. Like, he went in there, and I thought his second foul that he got, I thought he had just got bodied the possession before that. I got to go look at it. I'm not blaming refs. They don't get every call right just because I think it was. Doesn't mean it was. So I thought maybe she got the line a little bit more than he did. And I know his second foul we had to take him out of rhythm. Took him out of his rhythm when we took him out. But at the end of it, I mean, it is what I go back to it. Is what it is. You squared up with that guy on offense. You squared up with that guy on defense. I promise y'all, I've done this long enough. I've coached more games about anybody. This time of year is what it's going to be. And that's what I say to our players, and they know it. There's no trickery. You're going to be squared up with them, and you got to stop them. And they're going to be squared up with you, and you got to find a way to get an advantage. And that is I say that, so there is no hiding. So when we're playing Kentucky, there is none of that. There's no save me. And our players didn't have that look in their eye. It just didn't happen. And, Zach in those moments when he was squared up last game, he got the best of it, Tonight, I got to see some of the reasons why and how I can help them in these spots to get them in a great matchup, and then give them, hopefully, we had the spacing they needed to operate.
Anything else for Coach?
Hey,
thank you guys.
Appreciate y'all. Hey, thanks for covering, man. I know all the Aggies right here, man. That was a tough one. I'm sorry. I wanted that one as much as everybody else did. But we still got a lot in front of us. We got to get this one here on Tuesday. and we'll be back in business. Appreciate y'all.
That was our listen in, Bucky, post TU game. And you, let me ask you a really basic question. If you did listen, and I mean actually listen to what he said, did you not hear kind of the pain of the loss and truly just a want, a burning to get the W? Like, he wanted it for the players. He wanted it for the program. He wanted it for the fans. And not the lippy service thing, but a genuine, bona fide want for every person involved with what's going on this year. I think I did. I mean, that's the perception. That's what I heard is maybe the best way to put it. So anyway, that was Bucky post. I need a timeout. That was pretty. Again, you could hear the loss on him, I felt like. 979-693-1150. You can text, what did you hear? And again, the basic question right now, 2 wins. That's what I heard. Do they get it? Look, I have taken the base stance. I'm all in with Bucky Ball until it's over. What they've done so far is pretty incredible. I'm not jumping off. Until the cart crashes and all the wheels go flying in the air, I'm in. I'm on board. Logan, tomorrow, 11:20 inside the Charles Schwab studio. I'm going to ask him where he's at. I'll be right back, and we'll wrap up our first hour together. This is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric on the Zone.
Visit the Pod Center at zone1150.com and find every hour of every day of your favorite shows. Download or subscribe.
It is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Built on faith, family, and community. Coming up, 12 o'clock, Mitch Light of the Athletic College Baseball Roundup, 12:35, Aggie Baseball in Globe Life. How did it go? And I thought it went really well. At 1:35, I got Aggie Baseball listening. The weekend, in their words, Sadeo from Friday, Gavin Lyons from Saturday, and Michael Early from Sunday. He'll wrap up the entire weekend that was. More text message sweeps on the way. And, in the lunchtime, thanks to Rudy's Barbecue, I'm telling you right now, in the lunch hour, we will register another person. We'll take caller 5 on the D4 Land Services hotline, and they'll have a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Creed, thanks to Grohalski Sausage Company. Grohalski Sausage Company has 2 locations, and look, they do like artisan custom sausage and meat since 1952 with homemade recipes. And if you're one of those that loves just great food, Grohalski Sausage Company. They have 2 locations, South Main Street, Bremond, South Main Street, Calvert. Check it out for yourself. I'll wrap up in the lifestyles portion of the Louie Bellina Show. March is upon us. The madness. NCAA tournament. By the way, you will hear all the games of March Madness right here on the Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM, where we partner with Westwood One Sports. You're the NFL season, the Super Bowl, Westwood One Sports. In the summer, we have like College World Series, Westwood One Sports. Well, we have March Madness, all the games from Westwood One Sports. So here's what we have to look forward to in March. Daylight savings time. Woo! Good times. Let the party begin. Is this Sunday, March 8th. You'll lose an hour of sleep. But I think, wait a minute, does the sun go down now like 11 o'clock at night or something like that? Yeah, daylight savings time is this Sunday, March 8th. March 20th is the first day of spring. Things to look forward to in the month of March. You'll figure it out for yourself. The Yellowstone spinoff, The Madison, with Michelle Pfeiffer and Kurt Russell, starts on Paramount Plus on the 14th. I looked at movies and hard pass. St. Patrick's Day is the 17th of March. I remember back in the day, St. Patrick's Day was one of the holy Louie Bellina holidays. We'd do that first pint, the toast, like 10 a.m., 9 a.m., and get home later on that day. Good times. Did you know in the month of March that National Pancake Day is all of tomorrow for those that celebrate? National Pancake Day. Blueberry syrup. I'm not a complicated man. I'm not going to lie to you. In the month of March, National Puppy Day is the 23rd. And in the world I live in, every day is National Puppy Day. We don't have to designate just one day to be National Puppy Day. So that's some of the things to look forward to in March. We've got the Madness, the NCAA tournament. You can hear all the games here on the Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM, thanks to Westwood One Sports. Daylight savings time is this Sunday, March 8th. First day of spring is March 20th. Oh, I forgot one in there. MLB. The Major League Baseball season kicks off on March 25th. Now, this is very modern. This is the sports world we live in. It will kick off Yankees-Giants on Netflix. On Netflix on the night of the 25th. All the other teams, the rest of the league kicks off on the 26th. Just to give you a heads up. I almost forgot that. Go Stros. Here on the Louie Bellina Show, I'm a simple man. I got two things for you. Go Stros. Go Stars. Go Stros. Go Stars. In the month of March, new Yellowstone spinoff. Be the 14th on Paramount Plus. St. Patrick's Day is the 17th. St. Patrick's Day is pretty simple for me. Candy 95, one of our partner stations, they always go out to O'Bannon's. O'Bannon's blocks off the street on Northgate. I have a pint of Guinness with my best mate. The Blackguards play under a tent. Good times, good friends. Keep life simple, good music. That's all I need for St. Patrick's Day. When we return, Mitch Light of The Athletic joins us on the D4 Land Services hotline. This is the Louie Bellina Show, Monday on the Zone, presented by CC Electric.